It's incredible that we are now celebrating 35 years of the Suzy Lamplugh Trust. That's 35 years of amazing campaigning to keep personal safety alive in Suzy's memory. I'm Jacqui Hobbs, lead training consultant to the Suzy Lamplugh Trust, and I was a similar age to Suzy at the time of her disappearance, and I vividly remember the shock and disbelief I felt at the time. Like so many others when they heard the news, the thought that in an instant one's life could be forever changed is extremely devastating. We all go to work each day and expect to return home safe and well at the end of the day, don't we? And that was never the case for Suzy. At the time of Suzy's disappearance, I was a very similar age to her, and I was Programme Director for the Training Department of the London Central YMCA. Shortly after the Suzy Lamplugh Trust was formed, Diana Lamplugh approached London Central YMCA to help create training and deliver personal safety messages across the UK. Afterwards, we partnered with London Central YMCA and created the first programme, the Personal Safety First Training, and continued to work with the Trust thereafter. The first time I met Diana, as anyone would tell you, who described her as driven, passionate, she was a truly formidable person. She was all these things. And at the time, a newspaper had described her as an activist. And for me, this is how I would describe Diana. She was single-minded in making sure that lessons were learned from what happened to Suzy. Diana's practical can-do approach, and then the dedicated staff and volunteers that worked for the Trust, made sure that the whole movement continued to grow. The amount of support and education that was offered over the years was tremendous. I remember at the outset the Trust seemed to move very, very quickly. We would have meetings with Diana and Paul Lamplugh's home, sometimes in the room, sometimes in the kitchen, sometimes in the garage, and we would have all these plans to progress to the next steps. Sometimes we'd work with criminologists or psychologists or even sociologists to formulate the new programmes and get the right messages out there. We then moved on to create the Personal Safety at Work programme, and we rolled this out across the country. Wherever we went, whether it was Manchester, Glasgow or London, you would hear a pin drop when Diana talked to audiences about the work of the Trust and the situation that had occurred with Suzy. No matter where we went, shop workers, doctors, teachers, police officers, members of the clergy and estate agents, not only women but also men, would share their concerns and experiences of feeling fearful at work. It was clear that there was a lot of people being subjected to violence and aggression and unwanted and inappropriate behaviour at work, whether from customers or colleagues or from members of the public. I remember Diana and I were in a minicab to the train station after a conference in Birmingham, I think, and Diana asked the taxi driver to avoid locking the doors, and she mentioned how this could impinge on a passenger's personal safety. The driver disagreed and recounted numerous instances of being attacked by passengers and robbed. While I sat there watching the fare double as we sat outside Birmingham station for what seemed like ages, Diana asked one question after another about the driver's experiences and what he thought needed to happen to keep him and the passengers safe. When we eventually left the cab and boarded the train, just in the nick of time, Diana turned to me and commented, "Goodness, who'd have thought it? The driver has as many personal safety concerns as the passengers." On the train, she started writing notes, and after that, the Suzy Lamplugh Trust began lobbying for licensing of minicabs, and this was to become one of the Trust's longest running campaigns. I'm very pleased and proud to have been a member of the Suzy Lamplugh Trust team for these past 35 years, and I hope to and look forward to continuing to actively support the work that they do, the work for individuals, for organisations and communities, so that personal safety continues to be taken seriously in the coming years.